Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Football. My name is John Halpin, alongside my co-host, Chris Palmer. Chris Palmer, how are we doing today?
Doing good, man. Excited for the week ahead.
It is a very good week ahead. So today we are going to be doing our predictions for this upcoming week. Now, keep in mind, we do not do this by spread. We just merely do it by game. Who's going to win? Very simple, very easy. With that being said, Chris Palmer, are you ready to make your picks?
Yeah, I have my picks down right here. If you got yours down.
Okay. I got mine down. Let's go game by game and see who we pick. So the first game we're picking is the Jets and New England. Who do you have on that one?
Patriots. More so for the reason that Bill Belichick is a lethal coach in September.
Mm-hmm. He's a lethal coach all around, and I'm with you. I'm taking New England. I'm sorry, Jets fans. I just think New England's just going to get right back on track to what they do, and that's going to kick Jets' ass. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be your Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm actually going to take your Steelers on this to win. I think that they're probably going to win big, even though the Raiders did play very well, but I trust Mike Tomlin to get them back on track. What are your thoughts, Chris Palmer?
Come on, man. Got to stand with my team. We're going. Here we go. Round 2. We're going 2-0. We're beating Vegas. It's not going to. Our defense is going to run all over that team. They thought you guys blitzed a lot. We're not even going to blitz a lot. We're just going to send the first floor, and you guys aren't going to know what to do. Sorry, Vegas fans.
That being said, that's a really exciting game to watch. Now, the next game we're going to be picking is New Orleans Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. I'll be honest, I was flipping on this one a lot, but ultimately at this point in time, I'm going to pick the Carolina Panthers to upset the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
I know.
You shocked me on that.
I did.
I thought you were going to hold loyalty with the Saints. I'm going to be with you. I think the Panthers are going to beat the Saints on that one. I like what Sam Darnold does in Carolina, with, and I also want to see McCaffrey. He's going to blow up that whole defense. Yeah,
I think that's going to be a very, very fascinating game to watch. The next game we have to pick is the Houston Texans against the Cleveland Browns. And unfortunately, I'm going to be picking the Cleveland Browns on this one. I just think that they're just the better team than the Texans are at this point in time. What do you think?
Yeah, they're the better team all around. The Browns are going to win, and honestly, I'm not even sorry for it. The Texans did it to themselves. It's self-inflicted what they're doing. And the Browns are the far better team.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Moving on to the next game is the Cincinnati Bengals against the Chicago Bears. I'm actually going to take Cincinnati in this one. I don't have any faith in Chicago until they put Justin Fields as their starting quarterback. Until then, I have no conviction for them. Your thoughts?
I agree 100% with everything you just said. Until the Bears put in Justin Fields, they will not succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for them, but they know what they have, and they just gotta unleash them. Moving on, we're going to be picking between the Los Angeles Rams and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this is one of the games that we discussed earlier in the week. Who are you thinking at this point in time?
At this point in time, I'm going with the Rams. The Colts have no answer for that edge rush. And, again, I'm not big on Carson Wentz. Rams all the way.
Mm-hmm. I am taking the Rams as well. I think they're, again, the better team, the better quarterback, the better defense, and I just don't have any faith in the Colts that they could stop Aaron Donald at the point of attack. That being said, let's move on to the next game, which is the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Another game that we discussed earlier in our podcast. I'm going to take the Bills on this one. I think as much as I want Miami to win for boy Travis, shout out to UT. I just think the Bills are just the better team at this point in time. And I think that with that loss against the Steelers, I think Sean McDermott. He's a good coach, that he's going to get them right up back on track. I just don't see them going back-to-back consecutive losses. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I agree with you. Bills are the overall better team. Sorry, Travis. Dolphins are going to stand and fight that entire game. It's going to be exciting through and through. Whoever wins, I'm not upset with. But Josh Allen and the Bills are going to ultimately win that game.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Let's move on to the next game, which is the Denver Broncos against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be honest, I kind of smell an upset here, but I don't have any conviction to take the Jags. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. I like the way Teddy Bridgewater looked. He looked very good. He looked very poised. He looked very professional and very, very serviceable for the Broncos, because they're going to be another team that's going to be relying on their defense. I just don't have any... Trevor Lawrence did do well on his debut, even though he did have 3 picks. I think he played very well for a rookie. But I'm going to take the Broncos. They're just the more poised team.
Yep, I'm right there with you again. I have no conviction to really pick the Jaguars in this one. Broncos all the way, and I feel like it's going to be more than a touchdown.
Let's move on. The San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles. As bad as the Eagles beat the Falcons last week, can they do it again? I don't think so. San Fran just seems the better constructed team. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly upset them, though. Because that defense does struggle against mobile quarterbacks such as Jalen Hurts. But I think that San Fran is going to come out on top. But I wouldn't be surprised if Philly upset.
See, that is actually where I have my upset. That is where I have the Eagles going over. I know I had my original prediction with them going winless. But with Jalen Hurts and how, you said it yourself, how conflicted that defense is on mobile quarterbacks.
Okay, you have a lot more conviction than I do.
The Eagles over the 49ers here.
With that being said, let's move on to what looks like to be the lock of the week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Atlanta Falcons. And Tom Brady has never lost to Matt Ryan I believe, since the Super Bowl debacle. With that being said, I'm taking the Bucs. Probably haven't, yeah.
Being drafted?
28-3. I'm sorry, Falcons. 28-3.
Yeah, move on. Moving on.
Sorry, Falcons.
Moving on.
To a...
We're moving on from that one. We're going to move on to a real game.
Let's move on to another game that we talked to earlier this week. The Minnesota Vikings against the Arizona Cardinals. I like Minnesota as a franchise, but Kyler Murray just looked like a world beater last week. And he looks like he's poised to pop this year. And I'm with it all the way. So I'm taking Arizona in that game.
Here we are again on the same side, man. Cardinals all the way. Kyler Murray special. This is his breakout year.
So let's move on to another game that we talked about. The Seattle Seahawks against the Tennessee Titans. I think Russell Wilson's going to light it up against that defense. As much as I like Derrick Henry, and I can't throw Tannehill that far. I can't trust Tannehill that much. But I do trust Derrick Henry. But I think Russ can just get it done. He's just going to control that game and just take it over from there. Your thoughts?
You see, this one was hard for me. I have all the faith in the world in Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill is unpredictable, to say the least. they're going into Seattle, where they have the fans. That's going to take a factor as soon as Russell Wilson touches the field. I have the Seahawks going over in this one. I'm going to take the Seahawks. But Derrick Henry, he may light it up, depending on what defense shows up.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I did. Your mic cut it.
It may turn into the Derrick Henry show.
For that game? Taking Seattle? Okay. I too am taking Seattle.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle, but
no one should sleep on Derrick Henry.
Don't sleep on Derrick Henry.
Let's move on to a team with no run game. The Dallas Cowboys against the Los Angeles Chargers. I was flip flopping on this, and I'll be honest, I'm still kind of flip flopping. But who are you taking? I think I know who you're taking.
I'm taking the Chargers. Until they really decide. I'm talking the Cowboys now. Until the Cowboys actually decide to commit to their run that they can with Zeke, and they need to take the pressure off of Dak Prescott, they're not going to succeed. I said it before in episode 1. I'll say it again. They need to have more faith.
I somehow think in my mind that Dallas
Chargers are going to win all the way
because Dak is just. He looked good. He looked really good on that Thursday night game against the Bucs. You know what? I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take the Cowboys just out of sheer, on a sheer wing and a prayer. I'll go with the Dallas Cowboys on this one. I do think Justin Herbert's gonna have one hell of a game, but just at this point in time, in this moment, I'll take the Cowboys. Now, that moves us on to the primetime game, which is a game that we talked about extensively during our podcast, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs coming to Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens. Chris Palmer, who are you taking? I'm actually curious. Who are you taking on this one?
See, this one was a hard one to pick, and I actually wound up picking it on a whim.
Well,
by just saying it, it came off the tongue earlier off air. I'm going Kansas City. Sorry, man. I'm going with Kansas City. I feel that I feel the Ravens are too dedicated to that blitz.
I think you're right. They commit too much.
They showed
to that
way too many blitzes
I don't like
against
that
Vegas, and if they do that, Mahomes is going to run all over them.
As we were talking about earlier this week, it's all about the specific matchups. That being said, and it's going to kill me, and I'm probably going to get a lot of slack for Ravens flock, but I'm taking the Chiefs to win that game. I just don't have any conviction in my Ravens to come out with a win on that. I would like to be proven wrong. I really would. But at this point in time, I just can't. This is one of those games that you look at the schedule and it's like, that's just tough. That's just a real tough game. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm taking the Chiefs on that one. But we have one more game. I know. I'm going to go. We have one more game, and I think this is probably the easiest game.
Shocked me a little bit on that one.
The Detroit Lions coming to play the Green Bay Packers. Can the Packers rebound after last week's devastating loss against the Saints? Who are you taking on this one?
I'm going to take the Packers in just sheer hopes that a different Aaron Rodgers shows up. If he pulls in low 30s again and he plays the way he played in week 1, it's going to start the feeling of a pattern being drawn that he's going to force the Packers to put Jordan Love in. Now, I don't mind that, but that would be a real petty way to go out. But I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
say that
Packers as
he's
well.
going to come out and he's going to do
come
Aaron
back and
Rodgers
rebound.
and say that a pattern
I
won't
just
be
don't
drawn.
think
But
the
we shall see.
Lions can really match up against the Packers' offense or defense. And let's be honest now, since Aaron Rodgers has entered that division, or even since for this millennia, the Packers have just owned the Lions for majority of their time. So I'm taking the Packers. I think the Packers are going to come back, but I want to see how they come back, and I think that's going to be a very interesting thing to see. Is do they come back dominant, or do they come back barely scraping by? And I think that's going to be a very interesting game to keep your eye on, especially for a Monday night game. But with that being said, those are our picks this week. Chris Palmer, do you have any final thoughts heading into week 2?
No, this is just a clear-cut case of which team is better and which team is going to show up and which team isn't this week.
Week 2 in the NFL.
We're going to see some pretty impressive physical games.
If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and come back to us next week where we're going to recap week 2 and give you our rundown for week 3. With that being said, thank you everybody, and we will see you soon.